Bracing Out is a brilliant Hallmark film. I really love this. I don't know how accurate it is. I don't know if things would play out like this in reality, and I can't really expand on that without giving away too much information. But if anybody has any thoughts on that, please feel free to share. This was released in 2024. It's directed by McLean and it's written by Joie Botkin, based on the story by Melissa Bustamante, and we have a cast including Sarah Drew, Juan Pablo and Cora. And this is about a character called Ruby. Ruby is a young girl who has to do a family tree as a class project, but she's not looking forward to it because she only knows one side of her family tree. And this is because her mother had her via insemination. She used an anonymous donor, so she doesn't know who her biological father is. And after some persuading, her mother agrees to see if she can find out who the biological father is. And she explains the stumbling blocks that could happen. And that part of it, I believe, there are things to protect the donor, so that part of it did make sense. But then what happens next, I don't know if it would work in real life. So if anybody knows anything more about that, please do let me know. But I was able to overlook that question and just enjoy the rest of the film. And it is such a sweet story. Ruby is so lovely. I love her attitude. She is just so delightful. And I think there are a lot of great takeaways from this. I imagine it's relatable for a lot of other children. There will be many children who are either born from a donor or they just don't know who one of their parents is, or maybe both of their parents biologically. And that could be obviously a really difficult situation when doing class family trees. To be honest, I have no recollection of ever doing a family tree at school, so it's not something that one has to do at school, but I do think that if the subject does come up, I think the film offers some interesting angles on how to approach it. Not that every child's situation would be the same as this, but it's certainly very thought-provoking. And her mother as well had a really interesting perspective and I never would have thought of this, but she started to worry that if Ruby finds her biological father, she'll begin to feel that she and her mother will not be enough. That's not enough to make a family. She wants a father in her life as well. And I never thought of that. So the film really does have a lot to offer. I was really believing everything the characters were feeling and saying. It just felt so convincing and so emotional and so uplifting as well. It has so much to offer. Really great characters, great performances, really got to dig into their emotions and thoroughly enjoyed following their journey. It's a little funny at times as well. It does obviously sound like quite a heavy, serious, important topic, and it certainly is, but it's also quite funny, and I rather enjoyed that as well. And a lot of the comedy comes from Ruby. She is an absolute delight. Visually, it's really satisfying. We have some really great camera work and lighting. The editing's great. The costumes look great. We have a great use of sound and music. Music plays quite a key role in this, and I really enjoyed it from start to finish. It's an entertaining film, funny, moving, emotional, thought-provoking, branching out, certainly has a lot to offer, and needless to say, whether you're a Hallmark fan or not, I'd say it's definitely worth watching. It does feel like a Hallmark film, but also it's not as sickly sweet as some Hallmark films, in my opinion, so I think it could have quite wide appeal, a lot of benefit here. Definitely a film that's worth checking out.